I welcome that one, wherever you are, to the understanding of dreams. This is a continuation to the other teachings that have been shared before. I know I alluded to an aspect of a horse, donkey, a car, but I want to emphasize this one. I did receive some questions. I did receive a clarity on this one, so I just want to amplify on them. If you've watched my previous sharing, you will notice that I did allude to them. So thank you wherever you are. The good Lord bless you. Psalm number 33 verse 17. Psalm number 33 verse 17. The scripture says, a horse is a vain hope for deliverance. Despite all its great strength, it cannot save. So in short, the other aspect of the meaning of a horse, like I said there, when I was talking about the understanding of the vehicle, the means of transportation in the past, but you realize that a horse can even represent a vain hope. It can have a picture of hope that is vanity for saving you. Depending on the color, you will notice that there's a black horse, there's a red horse. Like I said, we'll come to colors as we go by. So you will understand that the application of a horse in a color might slightly differ. So when you dream a horse, for example, which is black has been told to be a bad color by many people who have not understood the scriptural point of view of things. But black is simply something that has to do with wealth. So if you go into the scriptures, you find the color black over the horses. So should I say with the horses, you find the color red, you find other colors, but I'm not focusing on the colors today. When I come to the colors, we'll come and do that. Everyone who is interpreting the dreams, or everyone talking about the dreams, like I've said in the past, let them indicate to you the exact scripture that should imply what you are dreaming. Okay? So, in another place, in Psalm 20, verse 7, I want you to see Psalm 20, verse 7. This is what the scripture says. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. So in other means, it can imply the limited trust, the limited trust as in compared to what God can do. Okay? Isaiah 31. I'm just doing the clarity because I received the questions from some people where they wanted some clarity. So Isaiah 31 verse 1, the scripture says, woe to those who go down to Egypt for help, who rely on horses, who trust in the multitude of their chariots and in the great strength of their horsemen. So in short, the horse sometimes can imply a worldly way of trusting in things, because Egypt is a picture of the world. The donkey. Proverbs, the donkey if you're using KJV, it uses the word ass, the donkey. So Proverbs chapter 26, verse 3, the scripture says, a whip for the horse, a bridle for the donkey, and a rod for the backs of fools. You see, it says a bridle for the donkey. It's control. When you dream a donkey, you see a donkey, you're talking about the control of life. That is why even the prophet Balaam was told to watch out by the donkey, was rebuked. It's a control. It's putting things in perspective. So a bridle for the donkey. All right. If you want, you can go and add Zechariah chapter 9 verse 9, when Jesus is entering Jerusalem on the fowl of a donkey. Okay. It's rebuke, like I said. It can speak of rebuke, comes back to control. When you are offline, you are off things. So when you see a donkey, it simply speaks of control. Let me add the scripture of Balaam, which I told you, but I will use the New Testament writing of Peter, 2 Peter chapter 2. Let's go there so that you can understand. 2 Peter chapter 2. This is Peter talking, and this is what he says. 2 Peter chapter 2 verse 16. The scripture says, but he was rebuked for his wrongdoing by a donkey, an animal without speech, who spoke with a human voice and restrained the prophet's madness. Why did God use a donkey and not any other? because there's a direct connection to the voices you hear. So the control of a human being can be seen in the form of a donkey in a dream. So when you dream that, that is control. Servants of the Lord, having said that, in a short space of time, the good Lord grace you. Please remember, if your dream is interpreted outside the scriptures by conventional means, by human mind, the devil will have access, because the devil is full of the things of men in his mind. He will have access and he will easily fight you. Make sure there's a protection over the dream interpretation by the use of the scriptures, and not just the use of the scriptures, but the use of the scriptures in the right perspective. The good Lord bless you. The good Lord honor you. Shalom, shalom.